Welcome back everyone to another iRacing video. Today we're back with the Street Stock series. Today I believe this is the USA International Speedway. Yes, right there, you can see it right there. So we're jumping right into qualifying today, but before we do, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. On the opening lap here, getting a feel for the track, a little bit of a different circuit from, as you guys can see, it's not as short. Turns are a lot longer, and as you can see, that kind of takes me by surprise. I've already practiced on the track a bunch, but still getting used to the corners a little bit. Tires were a little cold, so coming into that turn there, got on the throttle a little bit too early and ended up getting it. So had to take another lap. Wasn't going to be near as good for qualifying. I believe I started in, I think it was P13 or P14. So at the back of the pack. Try to get the best time possible here, but at this point I'm not really too concerned about where I'm starting. I just wanted to be able to start the race and have a good clean race. Very early on, doesn't start out as clean as I hope. You'll see that once the race actually starts here. As I said, coming around, same turn that I just lost it on. Managed to keep it clean this time. We're going to move right to the beginning of the race. These races, if you haven't seen my last video, with my highest finish yet, having a P2 finish, we begin with rolling starts. We don't start from basically the starting line, all stop, lined up. We do 2 laps before it goes green. Like in a regular NASCAR race. This is where things get a little bit tight. As you can see here, the 10 car ahead of me is going to put his brakes on a little too hard, and I get rear-ended right, like the race hasn't even started yet. And I picked up some incident points just because I got rear-ended, because the guy behind me wasn't really paying attention. He got rear-ended too, but at the same time, not how I wanted to start off a race, picking up incident points before we even went to the green flag. So, like I said, we're going to take 2 laps to get started. Now, being behind the number 10 Wrangler car, I wasn't too concerned with how he was going to start, because I had a plan. Because this track is fairly narrow and the turns are so long, I was going to try to stick, as soon as I had the chance, try to stick my nose to the inside. But the number 9 car likes to do the same thing. He's trying to get the better, like they both already are rubbing. And we're going green here, so I decided not to try to go with that strategy, which didn't really pay off, because the number 2 car and the number 8 car start getting on the inside of me. But then number 15, the blue car behind me that already rear-ended me, he gets a little too ambitious, I guess. And when he goes in, he gets ahead of me, but in the next couple of turns, he really doesn't know when to get off the gas, and he loses it. And when you're right here, and I got stuck in the inside and got taken out. Not hard, it didn't cause me to go out of the race or anything, but at the same time, not ideally the way I wanted to start a race, being rear-ended and then put into the wall and basically at the very back of the pack again. At this point, I kind of just decided, okay, we're just going to hammer down, head down, let's go. So easily past number 6. We're going to come up on number 14 here again, or number 12. Yeah, number 12. 15? I can't even see his number. 15. I apologize. We're going to basically make our way back up to the back of him again. He's going to spin out more than once. I don't know if it's just he didn't practice or if he just got, you know, a little complacent. Either way, we're going to make up time fairly quickly. Now, as you can see from, normally there'd be a passenger seat here in NASCAR or stock cars. There isn't actually a second seat. Kind of an interesting view, but at the same time, as you can see, coming into a bit of a crash can get a little stressful. Because if you don't take the right line, you can end up in that crash too. And one of the biggest things I've been trying to learn and try to do is be patient when you see someone or numerous people crash out. Same as the next turn. Like 2 turns in a row, we had people spin out and crash. Makes up places very easily, but at the same time, if you don't know which line to take, get off the gas, slow the car down a bit, and get through the crash, and be patient. Because you don't know if some of those people are going to try and rejoin the track, which a lot of people do, especially in the rookie series. People try to rejoin and don't know how to do it safely, and they will just spin their tires, spin the car around, and try to get back on the track as quick as possible. And it'll take out another driver if they're not being cautious and aware of what's going on. Now, that being said, if the crash has already moved to the bottom of the track and you see them still in the wall, take the high line, go around them, you'll be fine. But if you're not sure where the crash is going to end up, like if the crash is right in front of you and you don't know what's going to happen and you don't want to get caught up in it, take your time, be patient, watch, let it develop, and take the clean line through it. Now from here, things are just going to be fairly straightforward. I'm just going to be trying to take the best laps possible, the best line around this track. As you can see, I kind of had to jockey the wheel quite a bit. It's not, I tried to be as smooth as possible, but if you try to be super easy in, sometimes you'll oversteer a little bit, or the car will have a little bit of oversteer because the way these cars are set up, turning left in the banks in this car, and the way that the track is set, the camber of the track in the car is set just for left turns. So if you try to go super smooth in, yes, you're meant to turn left, but if you're too smooth and you don't kind of correct yourself and counter steer, that's when you're going to lose it. So you kind of have to be trying to, I know this is a simulator, but you still have to be trying to feel how the car is doing and watch how the car is. Now right now I'm racing with a Logitech G29 wheel and pedals and the shifter as well. I do have a Next Level Racing FGT Lite, and it is honestly the best setup for me right now. I live in an apartment, I don't have a lot of space, but using that, I know it's not a direct drive wheel, so the force feedback is still very good with it, but at the same time it's not going to be as good as a Fanatec wheel or maybe a Thrustmaster wheel or any other direct drive wheelbase. For what I have right now, I'm happy with it, and I seem to be doing okay, so I'm not going to need to upgrade right away. But coming back to the point of force feedback, getting to know how the car feels and all that, if you have a direct drive wheel, yes, you might be able to feel, quotations, air quotes, how the car is moving and feeling a lot easier. But for right now, this is what I have and I can make do. If that's all you have too, that's fine. Even if you know, iRacing, you can't really use a controller. Kind of makes sense. You're in a simulator. You wouldn't want to maybe be using a controller in a simulator. But at the same time, whatever you have for a wheel and pedal setup, make the best of it. And eventually, if you have the means to be able to upgrade, fine, do it. But whatever you have, use it and do the best you can with what you have. As you can see here, I get a little bit loose, run into the wall there. I didn't lose any places, but at this point we are moving up the pack. So I was quite impressed with how this actually went. Kind of got a little nervous going into the turn with this guy, but he stayed high. Wasn't too concerned with him. I think he ended up spinning out behind me anyway. But coming into this point in the race, I've moved up into 4th place, P4. Quite a big change from back of the pack, from lap 1 and 2. So very, very happy with how this race ended up going. Picked up quite a few incident points, but my safety rating still overall went up. Only by a point, but it still went up. That's what matters. I had another couple of races. I had a very clean race with no incident points whatsoever, no incidents. Picked up quite a few points, which was very nice. Based on how many turns you do and corners you take, and how many laps, it's not actually on how many laps you do. It's all about how many corners you take and how safe you are through taking those corners, and how many incident points you pick up per corner. It's very easy to move your safety rating up. You just have to be mindful of, if you want to battle in a race and you want to try to really place really high, that's still fine, but you're going to have to be a lot more aware and a lot more cautious, as you're going to have a lot more people that you're going to have to contend with. Starting from the back, yes, that's a good way to get out of rookie, because you can up your safety rating fairly quickly and do it in a fairly safe manner, because if you start from the back, you don't have as many cars to deal with. You can move up the pack based on how people take themselves out of the race, or if you can safely pass someone, do it. But if you're really looking to try to have a lot of battling and exciting races and stuff like that, expect to pick up a few points. But at the same time, don't not have fun with it just because you want to get your safety rating and get it a rookie. Once you get it a rookie, things open up a little bit. Like I said, when I first moved up into the D class for the road, all the road series, things open up. Yes, it gets more fun. Yes, you're going to have people that are probably going to race a little bit cleaner because they're a little bit more experienced and knowledgeable if they've moved up, and they're going to be a lot safer. Now, that being said, take your time and make sure you're ready to move up. Just because maybe you have 3 or 4 races under your belt and you've moved up, still practice. Don't just jump right into races and expect to be finishing in the top 5 every race if you haven't been doing it for a while. Practice is the biggest thing. Every chance you have, if you have 6 minutes before you're going to move into your race session with your practice qualifying and then the race itself, take those 6 minutes and do as many laps as you can. If you have 20 minutes, practice. Take as many laps as you need. Try different setups on the car. See what works for you. It's all about knowing the tracks, the car, and how they both work together. Then you just have to make it work. You have to get good with the feel of it. How the car feels. How the tracks feel. Your braking points, when you should be turning. All that good stuff. So, we're drawing to a close here. I know we took a few different directions talking about safety rating, camber of the car, the feeling of the car, wheels, my setup. I will do a video in the future of my own setup, show you guys what I'm actually rocking for hardware, my computer, my PC setup, and all that stuff. But for now, we're going to stick with racing. That's what I'm here for. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video. Hit that notification bell. And as always, have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.